The Evansville Otters return to Bosse Field, open up a 6-game homestand as they take on the Tri-City ValleyCats in an interdivision 3-game set from Bosse Field. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a fine Tuesday night for baseball. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauer on Flow Sports and the Evansville Otters digital network. Lucas, the Otters go 3-3 last week, now 12-8 in the Frontier League standings. They've dropped to third, and their offense coming off one of its worst weeks of the season, hoping for some home cooking this week.
Yeah, no doubt. They had a really solid home stand last time around in that series against Windy City, put up 23 runs in that 3-game series, but only able to put 9 across the board up in Joliet. Definitely some offensive struggles on the road, and they're looking to feel back at home tonight against Tri-City.
Yeah, the Otters only hit 196 over the last 5 games. On the other side for Tri-City, the name to know, Carson McCusker, maybe the hottest player right now in all the Frontier League.
Certainly, batting .479, already has 24 RBIs and 6 home runs to go along with that. He brings a lot of experience to the table, his 3rd year with Tri-City, so he's familiar with the Frontier League, and the Oklahoma State grad is certainly just having his way at the plate this year.
So we'll introduce you to the Tri-City starting lineup. They're 11-10, and they've won 5 of their 7 series this year, including their last 3. Jackson Hallmark, second baseman, leads things off. Cito Culver, shortstop, at second. Jacob Goldfarb bats third and catches. Carson McCusker, that's the man, in the cleanup spot and playing right field. Zach Bierman making his return to Evansville today, bats fifth and plays first base. Aaron Alter, center fielder, bats sixth. Bottom 3 in the lineup, Pat Adams, the left fielder, Juan Montez, the DH, and Paven Parks, the third baseman, rounds out the lineup for the ValleyCats. So that's the starting 9 for Tri-City. We'll see them bat on the other side, but we'll take a quick break for the national anthem. First pitch on the other side as we're getting ready for the start of a 3-game series between the ValleyCats and the Otters right here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America's freedom, those now protected, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for the scene of our national anthem, this evening performed by Emily Hinkle.
The national anthem on a beautiful Tuesday night for baseball here at Bosse Field. The Otters trying to get some home cooking going. They've been excellent at home, 9-3 on the season, and they're going to have Justin Watland on the bump today. Watland coming off maybe his best performance of the season. His ERA doesn't look great at 7.52. He's just trying to work on both his command and also when he's gotten into some trouble this season, things have spiraled.
That's right. A little bit similar to what we saw last season from Watland. Just very good at times, maybe a little more inconsistent than he would like, and he's certainly looking to settle back in. You mentioned his last start at home was very solid. He's looking to replicate and build off that.
7.52 ERA overall, and 14 2/3. 2-1, no decision in his last outing, which was his best of the season as he helped the Thunderbolts to just 1 run over 5 2/3. Around him on the diamond today for the Otters, Dakota Phillips at first, Ethan Skinder at second. George Khalil is off the IL and back at shortstop this week for the Otters. Jomar Reyes is at third, and Jake Green makes his second straight start behind the plate catching. Brian Rosario in left, Kona Quiggle in center, and Jeffrey Baez in right field. Pretty standard defensive alignment for the Otters. Noah Myers is DHing today, which is fitting Rosario in for the Otters in left. Hazy skies again today, as it's been for much of the past couple weeks in the Midwest, with a air quality index over 100. Hazy skies, but the sun is peeking out behind the haze, 85 degrees, and wind likely not to play much of a factor today, just 5 miles per hour. It is blowing out to center. Tri-City will lead things off with the ready Jackson Hallmark, the second baseman. Tri-City in black unis, the Otters in their home blues. Watland looking into the sunshine on the right side of the rubber. Winds and throws a first pitch strike. Actually called a ball just low, and we're underway here on a Tuesday night from Boston. Watland winds and throws. It's a breaking ball high. 2 balls and no strikes to Hallmark. Terrific crowd for a Tuesday night. Certainly going to be our biggest Tuesday night crowd of the year. The 2-0 is low. 3 balls and no strikes. Some local softball teams have made the trip and were honored before the game. Comes the 3-0 from Watland. It's on the inside corner, 3-1. Watland a quick worker. The 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4, and the first batter Watland faces of the game is a walk to Hallmark. Not a great sign considering he walked 5 in his last outing here last Wednesday.
Yeah, and that's going back to just looking for consistency in finding your spots, getting on the same page with your catcher, and just getting outs in a timely manner. And at times, walks have hurt him.
Brings up Cito Culver, lefty batter. Culver takes the first pitch high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes. With Hallmark the leadoff walk at first. Green cleaning up some dirt behind home plate. Trying to reset and calm Watland down. Comes the 1-0, runner goes, pitches low. Green, good throw down to second, bounces over the glove of Khalil and into center field. Hallmark hustling down to third without a throw. Stolen base by Hallmark, and then an error. See if it goes on Khalil or Watland, but the error allows Hallmark to take an extra base. Not the way the Otters were hoping to start this homestand. 1-0 to Culver is low, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 to the lefty is high and away, and that is the 4th ball. I had the count wrong. So back-to-back walks to start the game for Justin Watland.
Batting third and catching 23, Jacob Goldfarb.
Brings up Jacob Goldfarb, the catcher. Runners on the corners. Another lefty batter to face Watland. He's walked the first 2 here in the top of the first. Watland winds and throws. Goldfarb swings, pops one up into center. Back is Quiggle, still going back at the warning track, makes the catch along the wall. Hallmark will tag from third and score, and Culver will tag over to second. So the ValleyCats scored first, and after the Otters had been the first to score in 18 consecutive games, they've now gone back-to-back games with the opponent scoring first. And Jake Green is coming on out to have a word with Watland. 2 walks and a ball that nearly hit the yard, left the yard.
Yeah, having to work out of a really uncomfortable situation here now. Obviously, 2 walks, not ideal situation to start with, and you see a really hard hit ball come off the bat of Goldfarb. Justin Watland just got to settle down here, but he's got another runner in scoring position to deal with.
It's Culver tagged down to second. I'll bring up the hottest bat in the Frontier League. Carson McCusker, the right fielder, hitting .479 on the year. First pitch to McCusker is high 1-0. The first thing, though, I just noticed about McCusker in the batting box, he is a massive human being.
Yeah, big presence there in the box.
6'8", 250. With a whole lot of pop. Grad from Oklahoma State. They know how to hit. The Cowboys had a lot of great batters come through that program as McCusker takes outside 2-0. Reigning Frontier League Player of the Week. And leading the Frontier League in almost every offensive stat. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and popped up right side. Racing in is Baez. Out is Skinder. Baez still coming in, and he makes the grab. Long run for Jeffrey Baez, who is playing deep with the big swinging McCusker. Made a jogging catch to call off Skinder at the last moment. So back-to-back flyouts, 2 away, and Watland is an out away from the inning devolving into something ugly. So Zach Bierman is the batter. He makes his return here to Evansville, his first at bat in a ValleyCats uniform. This certainly has to be a weird moment for him. Played the whole year last year with the Otters. Bierman takes the first pitch inside, 1-0. He was quite the fan favorite here last year, Lucas.
That's right. Had 17 home runs. I know a lot of the fans just really liked his name.
Who doesn't love a Bierman? The 1-0 is fouled straight back, 1-1. Native of West Bend, Wisconsin, outside of Milwaukee. Hitting .247 this year with 4 home runs. Was traded to the ValleyCats at the end of the season. 1-1. Sailing high, 2-1. Bierman and Watland actually were chatting before the game. Teammates seeing each other again, but probably a little odd. Both of them knowing they're going to face off pretty soon on the diamond. 1-0 ValleyCats lead here in the top of the first with 2 outs. The 2-1 is chopped right side foul. Culver at second with 2 away. 2 walks by Watland to start this ball game have put him and the Otters in a 1-0 hole. Winds and throws, and it's swung on and driven right side and just foul to the right of the first base back. It is really hazy today, and the sun is still shining, but it's hard to say it's in full effect, really, to bother pitchers or fielders as much because it's blocking a lot of the light coming through. The 2-2, swing and a miss by Bierman. Breaking ball gets the former Otter, and after 2 straight walks to start the game for Watland, he retires the next 3 batters. Go to the bottom of the first, 1-0 lead for Tri-City on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Welcome back to Evansville. We'll meet the Otters lineup on this Tuesday night. Noah Myers leading things off tonight, DH. Ethan Skinder bats second and plays second base. Dakota Phillips bats third and plays first. Jeffrey Baez in the cleanup spot playing right field. Kona Quiggle bats fifth, and in center, Jomar Reyes batting sixth and playing third base. Bottom 3 in the lineup, Brian Rosario, the left fielder, Jake Green, the catcher, and George Khalil, the shortstop, back in the lineup after a week on the IL. That's the starting 9 for the Otters this evening, as they're already trailing 1-0 going to the bottom of the first. Struggling bats, and it's not going to get easier tonight against Rafi Vasquez for the ValleyCats. 4 starts on the season for Vasquez. They've all been quality. He's been terrific, Lucas, with a 1.67 ERA in his 3 appearances, 4 starts.
Yeah, no doubt. Not necessarily the arm that a struggling Otters lineup wants to see on the mound. Just .252 team batting average, and as I said, they struggled a lot on the road, just 9 runs in those 3 games, and that's compared to the 23 runs they put up in the 3 games they had last at home against Windy City. But just trying to find their way here. Last home game they had, actually all 9 hitters in that lineup had a hit.
One of their best hitting days of the week last week for the Otters as Noah Myers takes the first pitch outside to start the bottom of the first. Evansville had a combined just 9 hits over the last 2 games played. And were shut out on Sunday in a 1-0 loss. As Myers takes another strike, 0-2. Kick and a throw, and Myers fouls it straight back. Vasquez coming off 7 innings of 5 hit ball and just 1 run allowed against Trois-Rivières last week at home in Albany. Last 3 appearances, he's gone at least 6 and earned the win for Tri-City. Pitch misses inside, 1-2. UNC Charlotte product who actually hit more in college than he pitched. The 1-2, swing and a miss by Myers.
Yeah, and he actually came in to pinch hit in their game against Windy City on May 24th. Had a walk in an RBI single in that, so maybe he hasn't fully lost what he used to have been able to do at the plate.
He's certainly been delivering on the mound, though, this season. Second year in Indy ball and first in the Frontier League. He winds and throws. Skinder swings and grounds one right to the third baseman, Parks. He throws to first. In time, 2 away. And that gives us a chance to introduce you to the Tri-City defense around Vasquez tonight. Jacob Goldfarb is catching. Zach Bierman at first. Jackson Hallmark at second. Cito Culver at short. And Paven Parks at the hot corner. Pat Adams in left. Aaron Ulther in center. And Carson McCusker in right for Tri-City. Almost wanted to say Trois-City. I'm still in French mode. Dakota Phillips takes a first pitch strike. Lefty batter. 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the first. And Tri-City leading 1-0. Trois-Ciudad. I think I'm mixing 2 languages up. Phillips swings, drives one to right. Back is McCusker looking up, and it's off the base of the wall. That ball got out there so quickly, Phillips has no chance of going to second. It will be a hard base hit right off the wall. 105 miles per hour off the bat.
Yeah, went down and got a low pitch there. Phillips has been so good this year at hitting runs in. Didn't have anyone on base there to come around, but like you said, that ball just reached the wall so quickly. He was barely turning first when the ball reached the glove of right fielder Carson McCusker.
Jeffrey Baez, cleanup batter, ready batter, stands in and watches a first pitch strike.
We ask that children do not touch our Otters Digital Network cameras out in the ballpark. We thank you for your cooperation.
Phillips at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Otters trail 1-0. Baez swings and misses at a breaking ball, 0-2. Vasquez a quick worker, very similar to what the Otters saw on Sunday against Cole Cook at Joliet, who was looking like he had a date at 5 o'clock that night and was trying to get off the mound as quick as possible as Baez takes outside 1-2. The game on Sunday finished in 1 hour and 49 minutes. It was the fastest game in Otters history.
Wow.
28 years of Otters baseball. Beat the then quickest game by 1 minute, 1 hour and 50. Baez made it interesting. Got a hit in the 9th. He swings here, drives one to right, but right at McCusker. A few steps over, and he makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So the Otters get a hit, but that's all. That ends the first. 1-0. Tri-City leads. Go to the 2nd inning on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Working Distributors Evansville. 1-0 lead for Tri-City over Evansville as we go to the top of the second inning. Aaron Alther, center fielder, leads things off. Alther takes a first pitch low for a ball. Tri-City scratched across a run in the first. Watland kicks and throws low. 2-0. 2 walks to start the game for Watland, but he calmed down after that. 3 straight outs, and only 1 run came across. Alther takes outside, and it's 3-0, and he's fallen behind again. Comes the 3-0 pitch. It's on the inside corner. 3-1. Watland's not slowing down on the bump. The 3-1 is high for ball 4. Almost wonder he's working so fast right now. He just needs to take a deep breath.
A lot of times guys will work that fast when they're in a rhythm and just pumping in strikes, and like you said, maybe just the reciprocal here needs to take a step off. I mean, he's got plenty of clock left. When he releases each of these pitches, just take a deep breath and gather himself.
First pitch to the lefty, Pat Adams, is outside 1-0. Watland at times has been called effectively erratic for causing a lot of swings and misses for balls that can be all over the place. Runner goes. Good throw by Green down to second, and not in time. Alther just in safely. Excellent throw by Green. Bang, bang call over at second base.
Really good throw by Green there. I think just a little bit too big of a sweep on the tag from Khalil, and he just didn't catch the outstretched arms of Alther there as he slid head first.
6 straight balls thrown by Watland as Adams swings, drives one to left. Rosario back at the track, makes the catch at the warning track. Alther will tag down to third, 1 away. Adams narrowly misses a homer, but Watland gets the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Adams just caught that one off the end of the bat a little bit and still put it right up against the wall. I mean, if he barrels that up, that ball's way gone.
Runner at third with 1 out, brings up Juan Montez, the righty DH. Watland winds and throws, and Montez swings and misses 0-1. No hits allowed yet by Justin Watland, but he's walked 3 batters. We still have just 1 out in the second. Here comes the 0-1. It's a breaking ball on the inside corner. 0-2.
2 really good breaking balls to start off this at-bat by Watland.
The far left side of the rubber. Comes home inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was his best outing his last start of the season, but he did walk 5 Windy City Thunderbolts last week. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Montez. Swing and a miss. 2 away.
That's a German-American bank strikeout.
It's more like it from Justin Watland using that breaking ball, and he's not going to throw a huge amount of pitches in the zone, but you have to get the swings and misses for Watland essentially for that effectively erratic to be the effective part of the erratic. Paven Parks, lefty batter, stands in, swings and misses 0-1.
We saw him start off the inning by walking Alther on 4 out of 5 fastballs, and now he's starting to mix in a lot of breaking balls, and it looks like changeups as well.
A 1 swing and a miss, and another breaking ball that fell off the table and into the dirt. 0-2. He's not slowing down, that's for sure. And Parks is actually going to call time himself, the batter, and reset things. Watland has been throwing with about 12 seconds or so still left on the pitch clock. Gets right on the rubber, and he comes home. Parks sprays it foul. 2 outs here on the top of the second. Tri-City's got a runner at third with the ValleyCats leading 1-0. Comes the 0-1. It's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Parks swings and grounds one right to the first baseman. Phillips fields it off a hop and steps on the bag for the third out of the inning. So Tri-City gets a runner to third, but they strand him there. 1-0 ValleyCats lead to the bottom of the second on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network.
It's time to see who gets to upgrade to the Ashley Furniture Home Store. Best seats in the house. Our lucky winner will get to spend the rest of the game the best seats in the house. I say congratulations to Emily Taylor. Emily Taylor wins because she had a smiley face next to her name on the sign-up sheet. So congratulations to Emily Taylor. We'll get to spend the rest of the game in the best seats in the house. Come on down and enjoy the view with your feet kicked up at the best seats in the house. And the best seats in the house also means that you have the best view of the Heritage Video Board, Otter Vision. Follow along with all of our video board and Otter Vision action tonight. And be sure to visit heritagefederal.org for all of your banking needs, and congratulations to Emily Taylor.
Back at Bosse Field, the Frontier League standings starting to shape up a little bit more as we're about 25% through the Frontier League season. Game 22 tonight for both of these squads. The Otters trail Tri-City 1-0 out of the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Kona Quiggle is low for a ball, 1-0. It's interesting, you were noting, Lucas, that the West has really beaten up on the East Division so far this year, as Quiggle takes the pitch at the knees for a strike, 1-1, which was not the case at all last year.
Yeah, all the teams in the East really just hovering around 500 right now. Really balanced out division.
1-1 is spoiled, foul by Quiggle, 1-2.
Tri-City 11-10 record, and they're sitting in the same position as the Otters in the West, both at third place now. The Otters dropped there behind Schaumburg following this past series up in Joliet.
1-2, Quiggle swings and lines one into left field, a base hit. Big turnaround first by Quiggle. He puts on the brakes as it's relayed back in. A leadoff knock for Kona Quiggle in the bottom of the second.
One thing Quiggle does so well is hit pitches that are a little bit high up in the zone. Sometimes guys will pop them up a lot, but Kona Quiggle keeps his hands above the ball very well and just goes out, lets the pitch do the work, and drives the ball off the plate quite a bit to his outside there, just into left field.
First pitch to Jomar Reyes is fouled first base side. Schaumburg maybe had the most impressive last week of anyone in the Frontier League. Here comes the 0-1. Inside corner to Reyes, 0-2. They went 5-1 on a Canadian road trip. That's unheard of.
It's certainly tough to do. We've talked about how it can be tough to play under the travel and accommodation conditions that teams face in the Frontier League and all the stuff you have to deal with at the border. It's just a very long trip, so really, really impressive feat there.
And to make matters even more impressive, they didn't have an off day on Monday. They played last Monday on Memorial Day against Windy City, then left after their afternoon game and played Tuesday night in Ottawa. Reyes fouls another one away. So their hot streak, they've passed the Otters by just half a game in the Frontier League West standings. Now those two will get to sort it out this weekend as the Boomers will come here to Evansville. 0-2, swing and a miss by Reyes. Chase one way outside the zone, one away.
That's right, a rematch of last year's wild card game. And those teams both currently sitting in the same position where they ended last year's regular season.
So now it's Brian Rosario with 1 out and 1 on. Quiggle still at first. Rosario, the lefty batter. First pitch to Rosie is a strike from Vasquez. Vasquez just 6'1", 200, fires home. Quiggle goes, third on to second as well, late and bouncing into center field. Quiggle hustling to third, throw down is not in time. Quiggle is hands on his knees and maybe a little bit of pain and exhaustion, but he's taken a bag and then advanced to third on the air.
Ended up being a very good pitch for him to steal on because it was a breaking ball just caught right above the plate, almost in the dirt. So a hard pitch for Jacob Goldfarb to try to throw down there, and he ends up throwing it quite a bit low. And the alert Quiggle just bounces up, takes an extra base. It's how we saw the first inning start for Tri-City as well.
How the ValleyCats scored their run is the 1-1 outside of Rosario. Otters trailing early. The first time since opening day as Rosario chops one third base side. A look over to home by Parks, but he just throws to first for the out, and Quiggle will score to tie us at 1 apiece here in the bottom of the second.
And there's Andy McCauley using his team's ability to steal to get runs across the board, as we've seen him do really consistently at home this year.
2 outs, nobody on. Jake Green steps to the plate, swings to the first pitch, pops it up on the infield. Second baseman Hallmark in front of the second base bag makes the catch for the third out of the inning. 2 complete on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. We're all tied at 1.
Top of the order to you, our Hoosier Lottery strikeout batter of the game. Second baseman, 1, Jackson Hallmark.
Two complete from Bosse Field, all tied at 1 between the Otters and the ValleyCats. Jackson Hallmark to the plate, swings at the first pitch, grounds it to the third baseman. Charging Reyes throws to first in time. One away on one pitch in the top of the third for Justin Watlin and the Otters.
Shortstop 6, Cito Culver.
One away, and it brings up Cito Culver, the shortstop. ValleyCats bringing in some hot bats in here to Evansville. Watlin kicks and throws, and the lefty Culver takes low 1-0. ValleyCats second in the league in batting average at .280, third in the league with 6 1/3 runs per game, and fourth in the league in home runs, 23. As Culver takes a strike, 1-1.
That's right. Coming off a red-hot series against the Grays, too. They had 22 runs in that series.
1-1 is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Now, I feel like you can put an asterisk on it because the Grays are, while they've hit well this year, are probably the worst pitching team in the Frontier League. The 2-1. High, 3 balls and 1 strike. But even with that, clearly Tri-City's numbers across the season showing a prolific offensive team. The 3-1 on the outside corner for a strike and a full count.
They've struggled a little bit more on the road than they have at home. Just a 3-6 record.
On the road, yeah. That's got swept by Sussex County, first place team in the West, as Culver takes inside for ball 4.
The catcher, 23.
I feel like Watland is working even quicker than he has earlier this season. It just feels like has his hair on fire right now on the mat. Jacob Goldbarg, new batter, lefty, also takes inside 1-0.
I'd say definitely. I mean, he's always worked fairly quick compared to some of the other starters, but I don't know if this is a mindset that he was coming into tonight, that he was going to just work a lot quicker or what.
Steps off and checks over at Culver. Culver's back at first.
He does seem to just almost be rushing himself, though, at this point.
4 walks already today, but yet to give up a hit. The 1-0 is chopped right side, diving. Well, not diving, reaching his Skinder, and he can't get there. It goes into right field. And there is the first hit of the game for Tri-City. It goes to Goldfarb, and there's 2 on with 1 out.
Almost surprised Skinner didn't dive, just to try to keep that in the infield, because a ball that really only reached shallow right field. Culver certainly could have probably made a run for third if he got a better jump off first there. So something as a pitcher, it's a small detail, but you'd like to see an infielder dive just to try to keep the ball in the dirt and maybe prevent an extra base from being gained.
Skinner's been mostly excellent at second this season. Carson McCusker swings and misses at the first pitch. He sees 1-0. Culver at second, Goldfarb at first with 1 out here in the top of the third. We're all knotted at 1 apiece. Watland winds and throws low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I am amazed at how lanky McCusker is. And some guys are tall and it's more of a complete body. But McCusker looks like he's almost on stilts. His legs are really exceptionally long compared to the rest of his body. So he takes a strike at the belt, 1-2.
Yeah, just a really athletic build there you see at the plate. And between him and Alter's also 6'5" at the plate, just 2 very big presences. Almost Aaron Judge-like.
1-2, chop left side foul. They could start a pretty solid pickup basketball team with this. They've got their center and their power forward all set.
Yeah, I'm not sure who in the Frontier League would be competing with them in that.
Well, Kevin Davis would certainly be the center for the Otters, but yeah, I don't know who they're putting at the 4. The 1-2, swing and a miss. That's nasty stuff. Breaking ball inside from Watland. 2 down.
Few of his best breaking balls have been on the inside of the plate, and we've seen him. He hasn't gone to that near as much in previous starts this year. Usually balls that are falling off the outer half of the plate, but he's thrown a few just right at the batter that have broken in. And McCusker knew that going in and swung at it, but just, yeah, like you said, too nasty to catch up with there.
Bierman, lefty, watches the first pitch strike from Watland. 2 on, 2 out, top of the third. All knotted at 1. Tuesday night opener of this 3-game series between Tri-City and Evansville. Comes the 0-1. It's low, 1-1. Already the second trip out west for the ValleyCats, who went up to Chicago earlier this season. Finished this trip at Gateway, and then they don't make another trip out to the West Division the rest of the year. 1-1 to Bierman is inside on the hands. Check swing. Did he go? No. Says the third base umpire, Robert Davis. Mike Weinstein, who we haven't introduced today, is behind home plate, and Drew Taylor at first. Watland peeks back at second, at the belt, winds and throws. Bierman pops one up, left side and out of play.
Number at the ball brought to you by Heads Construction Shoes, the best, never regret it.
Really terrific crowd on this Tuesday night here at Bosse Field. 2-2, Lunged at and blooped into center, down for a hit. This should score Culver. He's racing around from third. The throw is cut off, and the ValleyCats retake the lead. Zach Bierman in his return to Bosse has an RBI base hit.
Center fielder, 22, Aaron Alter.
Really good piece of hitting there by Bierman. Goes down and gets one of those breaking balls just almost in the dirt. Sticks his bat out there. Catches it a little more out in front than you usually would have pitched that, and just pokes it out into center field.
Runners on the corners for Aaron Alter. Takes a first pitch ball. Goldfarb went first to third on the base hit. Bierman at first. 2 outs here in the top of the third. 0-1 from Watland. Outside, 1-1. He kicks and throws. Breaking ball inside, just missed. 2-1. Four walks on Watland's tab as the 2-1 pumped up into right. Baez and Quiggle drifting over, and it will be Baez calling him off and making the grab for the third out of the inning. RBI base hit by Zach Bierman in his return to Evansville gives Tri-City a 2-1 lead. Go to the bottom of the third on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters are back tomorrow, a Senior Connection Wednesday. For anyone 55 years or older will be eligible for a $2 ticket. That is a 12:05 start time. Please make note tomorrow. 12:05, that start time tomorrow on a Senior Connection Wednesday. So, old school day baseball here at Bosse Field. Knights didn't come to the ballpark until the late 30s. That's when baseball was always played for the first couple of decades. So, the throwback game and the Senior Connection Wednesday with $2 tickets for anyone 55 and older. Series finale is a Budweiser Thirsty Thursday. You can take advantage of great drink specials. And on Friday, we're hosting 9 innings of giving. We're giving away prizes all night, including season tickets, a Blackstone griddle, and a PlayStation 5. I remember when the original PlayStation came out. Friday night, you can take home that PlayStation 5 if you're a winner. EvansvilleOtters.com for more ticket information.
Tri-City leads Evansville 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the third inning from Bosse Field. Griffin Epstein, Lucas Daunhauer, our excellent director, Austin Hernandez, right here on Flow Baseball and the Otters Digital Network. Glad he can join us on a overcast Tuesday evening. George Khalil is the batter. He takes the first pitch strike from Rafi Vasquez. Allowed a leadoff base hit to Kona Quiggle in the second, and he would come around to score for the Otters' first run of the game. Comes the 0-1 to Khalil. He swings and pops it up right side. 3 black jerseys going over to the second baseman, Hallmark, who makes the catch. A few steps from the right field line, just outside of the infield dirts.
The Edward Jones, leadoff batter of the game, designated hitter number 9.
One away, rolls over to the top of the order, and the Edward Jones leadoff batter, Noah Myers, who struck out his first time up. Kick and a throw to the lefty, swings and drives it into right. 0-1 hop in front of McCusker, and a base hit for Myers. Not waiting around, first pitch swinging, and has a hit here in the third.
Was interested to see how Myers would approach the plate tonight. Just his second game this year in the DH spot. He's usually out there playing defense as well, and some guys can adapt to that better than others. We saw him strike out there in his first at-bat, but jumps all over the first pitch he sees here in the top of the third.
Making his 19th start, though, atop the Otters. Ethan Skinder swings and misses at the first pitch he sees. Myers was terrific here in the 3-game home series the Otters had against Windy City last week. 2 home runs, highlighting the week. Skinder takes low, 1-1. Two runs on 2 hits and an error for Tri-City. 1 run on 3 hits and an error for Evansville. Both errors coming on balls thrown by the catcher that ended up on stolen bases, ending in center field as Skinder fouls one to the third base side, 1-2. Second ever trip for Tri-City here to Evansville. They came here last year and took the series 2-1 from the Otters in late July. Vasquez comes home outside. Myers goes, and the ball is dropped by Goldfarb, who looks down at his hand in disappointment. His right hand did not cooperate appropriately. Myers with another bag, and that's Noah Myers' 8th stolen base of the season. Second on the Otters, only behind Rosario.
Yeah, really good threat on the base pass. He had 21 stolen bases in his last college season.
2-2 is inside, and it hits Skinder on the hand. Hits Skinder on the left hand. Feeling it out. Hopefully he's all right.
This is really interesting because home plate umpire and the catcher you see here is very confused. Skinder definitely swung. He definitely offered at that pitch. And that's why I think the Tri-City players are all very confused because it should go down as either a foul ball, a strike. Either way, it'll be a strike because he completely offered. Wrist definitely broke the plane. And it's just sometimes a reaction when a ball's running in on your hands. But the umpires both say he didn't go. So he's going to get the base.
Well, the Otters had the bad end of that call on Friday against Joliet, on a call that was actually overturned as Dakota Phillips takes the first pitch outside. There's 2 on with 1 out. I was back in a key 4th inning for Joliet on Friday, and ended up being a double for Christian Fedko after he seemingly struck out, but it hit his hand, and they overruled that he went around after the umpires converged and talked about him, which baffled me as Phillips swings and misses, 1-1. I guess this is the answer from the baseball gods.
It can be a tough situation sometimes. Last night, the Reds game ended because the closer threw a ball almost at the opposing batter's head, but as he was falling down, he offered at the pitch.
Wow. 1-1, trickled right side. It will stay fair and picked up by the first baseman, Bierman, who just steps on the back. I don't know how that ball didn't roll foul. It just went right down the infield dirt to the left of the first base line, and Bierman just stood there and watched the ball come right into his glove.
Almost surprised Bierman didn't come meet that ball a few steps in front of the bag instead of just waiting on it like he did, because obviously, like you said, it had a lot of spin on it. I'm not sure how the ball didn't go foul. Takes the risk to just wait on it. Works out for him.
Both runners advance, so second and third with 2 outs for Baez. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Myers at third, Skinder at second. It's 2 away here on the bottom of the third inning. A 1 is inside to Jeffrey Baez. 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez hitting .268 on the year. Is leading the Otters in home runs with 6, including 1 on Saturday at Joliet, and the Otters' lone win up in Chicagoland last weekend as Baez swings and misses at the 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 on here in the bottom of the third. 2-1 lead for Tri-City. Vasquez kicks and throws, and a check swing by Baez off the end of the bat, but it goes foul. It was kind of a similar play there where he's almost defending himself. The ball inside, and the bat instinctively comes out, and it hit off the barrel. Vasquez kicks and throws, and Baez spoils it. Right side. Over is McCusker, and it bounces off the wall. Baez hustling around. He's going to try for third. The throw is not in time. A 2 RBI triple for Jeffrey Baez off the right field wall. The Otters take a 3-2 lead. And how about the second triple for Baez in the last week?
And Rafi Vasquez just missed his spot there. They kept setting up for outside pitches because on his last 2 at-bats, Baez was really just stepping out and not closing his stance up at all to go out and hit an outside pitch. And that's what catcher Jacob Goldfarb was set up for, but he puts it right over the heart of the plate.
Connor Quiggle takes outside. 2 outs, and Baez now at third. Baez hit a triple back on Thursday night against Windy City. As Quiggle grounds one to second, bobbled by the second baseman, throws to first, still in time. Hallmark seemingly had it in his glove, then bobbled it and dropped it, had to pick it back up and rush the throw to Bierman, and narrowly beat Quiggle down the line. A triple, though, by Jeffrey Baez off the right field wall gives the Otters a 3-2 lead. We're through 3. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
My grandparents used to be bell ringers for the Salvation Army. 1 hour ringing the bell raises $50 to $60, providing 40 meals for families in need. It is an easy way to get volunteer hours for work, school, or just fun. Sign up today at registertoring.com. Holiday season isn't too far away. In 2022, the Salvation Army provided for 127,000 meals for over 5,000 families. Food pantry daily meals are available for any family in need. Learn more at Evansville.org. And looking something for your work, church, or club? You can help around Christmas 8 hours of overheat for defense of family from becoming homeless. Sign up your groups at registertoring.com. Left fielder Tim Pat Adams.
3 complete from Bosse Field. 3-2 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. 2 RBI triple by Jeffrey Baez in the bottom of the third, giving Evansville a lead. Pat Adams, lefty batter, leads things off for Tri-City in the top of the fourth as he takes the first pitch inside from Watland. Watland rocks and throws. Inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Watland at 60 pitches here to start the fourth. He's walked 4 batters, 3 strikeouts, and allowed 2 hits and 2 runs. Adams takes outside. Actually called a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Adams will call time. Certainly not been another challenging start at times for Watland, but he's held his cool. Adams swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt. Green needs to pick it up and throws down to first in time for the out. 1 away.
If you take those walks out, he's been very successful tonight. Just really the concept of allowing a walk in each of the innings so far and starting off the game allowing 2 walks. Other than that, he's thrown ground balls, been able to strike some hitters out as well. His stuff's been effective when it's been in the zone.
Juan Montes, DH. Righty takes a first pitch high from Watland. Comes the 1-0 pitch. It's high again, 2-0. Watland winds and throws. It's low again. 3 balls and no strikes. This is where he's worked his walks, just pitch counts that have early on. It's fallen way behind. 2-0, 3-0. 3-0 pitch to Montez. This is a strike at the knees. 3-1. Montez hitting .224 on the season. Outfielder from Guatemala City. 3-1. High for ball 4. So that's walk number 5 for Watland. This feels a little bit reminiscent of his last start when he walked 5 batters but only allowed 4 runs and ended up only allowing 1 earned run and gave the Otters a chance to win a game against Windy City. Giving them a chance so far with 1 out. Pavin Parks the batter. Down to second goes Montez. The tag is not in time. Montez with a good jump. He's still lying face flat on the dirt. Calls for time so he can get back up.
Really surprised there wasn't some kind of pickoff move or a signal given by the first baseman, Dakota Phillips, because Montez was way off the bag, almost just jumping up and down ready to steal that base.
A 1-2 Parks is outside.
It's been tough for Watland, though. He's getting squeezed in the zone. Some of these pitches that have been called balls are strikes on our Yacker Tech, and sometimes you just don't get the benefit of the doubt from an umpire if you're having a little bit of struggle with your command.
Peeking back at second, comes home. Parks swings and pops it up into shallow left. Out is Khalil, and he will make the catch over the shoulder. Challenging play for George Khalil in his return to short after a week on the IL with back spasms. Makes an impressive play. Called off Rosario, who was coming in from left field. Second out of the inning, a big second out of the inning with a runner at second. Jackson Hallmark, leadoff batter. Come to face Watland with 2 outs. Montez still at second base. Watland comes home, breaking ball inside, 1-0. Watland peeks back at second. Big lead, and there goes the runner. Throw down to third is a good one, and not in time. Green thought he had it. Reyes thought he had it. Both were running off the diamond, but somehow Montez snuck under that tag. He got a huge jump, but Green saw him going and made a laser throw down to third. 2-0 to Hallmark is a strike.
That was a really impressive throw around the runner by Jake Green, throwing to third base with a right-handed hitter up.
2-1 is outside 3-1. That's another instance of you look down and Watland is throwing another pitch. 3-1 is fouled off and a full count. Both teams have been aggressive on the base pass early, to say the least. 3 stolen bases already for Tri-City, and the Otters have a pair of stolen bags. Oh, Montez started running down the line. The 3-2, strike 3 called. Breaking ball freezes Hallmark for the 3rd out of the inning. It's the 4th strikeout for Justin Watland, and he leaves a runner stranded at third. 3-2, Evansville leads to the bottom of the 4th inning on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
It's time for you to show us your best smiles with the Paramount Dental Smile Cam. I'm smiling because I see John Stanley here at the ballpark. We're also going to smile because there's 300,000 members trusting Paramount Dental because it's based right here in the Hoosier state of Indiana. Paramount Dental has been ensuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep on smiling with Paramount Dental. We have Austin Christian, Andrew Kavanaugh Hernandez, John L. Smith is here, Dan Murphy is here, and that's it. So our great ODN crew right today for all Frontier League and Plus Sports contents. Big round of applause to everyone on our Paramount Digital Smile Cam. And what a great crowd we have here on a Tuesday night. A Fifth Third Bank family night where families of four can take advantage of the 4 tickets, 4 drinks,
3-2 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. Move to the bottom of the 4th inning in a busy ball game so far. 4 of the 7 half innings we've played have had runs in them. Plenty of walks and hits and stolen bases to start this opener of a 3-game series. Jomar Reyes leads off for the Otters. Takes a first pitch outside from Rafi Vasquez. Comes the 1-0. Reyes swings, pops one up into center. Back is Althor, a few steps from the track, makes the catch, 1 away. Oh, this has been a weird game so far. It feels kind of choppy for the pitchers, but it's moving at a very quick rate. But there's been a lot of runners on base at the same time.
Yeah, we've had a handful of stolen bases between the two teams. And Watland just working very fast on the mound. It's been, like you said, a really weird rhythm to the game.
Vasquez has been far more efficient than him as he doesn't have any walks today as Rosario slaps one foul. He's at just 45 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th. Otters have been swinging early and often. The 0-1 is outside, 1-1.
Little different than what we've seen from the Otters a lot at the plate this year. Usually very selective, but when you throw a lot of strikes like Rafi Vasquez, you kind of force that on the other team.
1-1 is swung on by Rosario and grounded to the first baseman. Bierman gloves it, runs back to the bag, and there's 2 away on just 4 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th. You're right about that, Lucas. This feels, in terms of that quick speed, similar to pace of Sunday's game where the Otters were shut out against Cole Cook of Joliet. And as we mentioned, a game that ended up being the fastest game in Evansville Otters history at 1 hour and 49 minutes. The Otters in that game certainly were swinging early and often as well. First pitch misses outside to Green. The 1-0 is swung on and chopped off the foot of Jake Green, who goes down on his hands and knees before hopping back up. He's grimacing some pain. This one to walk off for Jake Green, and they don't make him a lot tougher than Green. From Saxe, Texas, catcher. That one hurt. Comes the 1-1. Green swings and a high chopper to short. Backhanded play by Culver. Throw across the diamond is just bounced into the grass and barely rolls to first base. Culver off balance at shortstop. Green's still limping, but he runs it out for an infield base hit.
You got to think Cito Culver probably had a second or 2 longer to set his feet and try to make somewhat of a competent throw over there. As you said, that ball bounced 3 or 4 times before making it to first, making it a pretty easy infield base hit, but a hard hit ball by Green nonetheless.
3-stride lead over at first for Green. First pitch to George Khalil is grounded right back to the shortstop, and Culver eats it up. Bounces off his glove, skids to the left into left field. Well, it's not been a good last minute for Cito Culver over at shortstop. I think he needs to go to Culver's and get a concrete mixer.
Yeah, that a ball that he definitely had time to take another step or 2 over and get his body behind, but he opts to go with a backhand as well, and a tough hop just eats him up.
And now the pitching coach, Brooks Carey, is on out to have a quick word with the infield and Vasquez. 2 outs here in the 4th. This inning had been going wrong at a breeze of a pace, but an infield base hit for Green, and now an E6 has put 2 on with 2 out, and the top of the order to the plate for the Otters and Noah Myers. Otters DH 1 for 2 today with a base hit in the 3rd and came around to score. Lefty batters. Vasquez working on the far right side of the rubber, kicks and throws home. Strike at the knees. Just 3 walks all season by Vasquez. Doesn't have any today to kind of prove the point of he's just a strike thrower. And you have to swing at some point because he's just going to pound the zone. The 0-1 is low, 1-1. Isn't throwing particularly hard. Just 89 miles per hour from Vasquez as he shakes off a sign from the catcher. Goldfarb sees what he likes now. The 1-1 is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. At it just 85. Working out of the stretch, right arm dangling as he squats down. Sets at the belt, kicks and throws. Myers goes down to chase one, pops one up into center. Back is Alter, a few steps from the track, makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The Otters strand 2 in the bottom of the 4th, but they lead 3-2. We are moving at a rapid pace on this Tuesday evening to the top of the 5th. Otters by 1 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The train was my favorite part. Just kidding, I love the Otters. They were great.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Budweiser. Top 5 from Bosse Field. 3-2 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats on a hazy, warm Tuesday evening. Game that we are an hour in is already in the 5th inning. We're moving along at another quick pace. Cito Culver trying to make up for his misdeeds in the bottom of the 4th inning. Leads off the top of the 5th and takes the first pitch inside. Lefty batter. Comes the 1-0. Culver takes a strike, 1-1. The poor Evansville Otter Bells have one performance every game at the top of the 5th inning. Comes the 1-1. Culver takes a strike at the knees, 1-2. Typically the Tuesday train comes along much earlier in the game, around the 3rd or the 4th inning. Comes the 1-2. Bounces in front of the dirt. Green blocks it 2-2. But to their unfortunate misdeeds, right as they started the performance, the Tuesday train came by, full horn blasting, and overwhelmed the Otter Bells' performance. 2-2. And Culver left frozen, 1 away. Breaking ball freezes Cito Culver, 1 down in the 5th. I mean, the train was blaring over Elton John. That's a criminal offense.
Hats off to the Otter Bells, though, for keeping their rhythm and staying in sync with each other. It definitely had to be quite hard to hear the music.
Have to perform in all forms of conditions as a performer, but what do they say? The show must go on. Jacob Goldfarb takes the first pitch low, 1-0. Watland winds and throws, and Goldfarb takes low again. 2 balls and no strikes. Watland has 5 strikeouts, but he also has 5 walks. 2-0 is high, 3-0. And with all the walks, his pitch count is getting up in a hurry. He's at 83 now, and there's some stirring in the Otters' pen. The 3-0 is pumped up high in the air down the first base line. Phillips to the right of the first base bag, looking up into the hazy sky and making the catch. 2 away.
Right fielder, 33, Carson Cusker.
Hey, it's not been pretty by any means today for Justin Watland, but against a prolific offense, he's held them to just 2 hits and 2 runs, and he's an out away from making it through 5. Carson McCusker, Frontier League reigning player of the week, swings at the first pitch and chops it just to the left of the third base back.
Even in that at-bat right there against Goldfarb, goes down in the count almost immediately with 3 quick balls, but still able to get a pop out to first base, and it gets the job done, just not very efficient.
0-1. Low to McCusker. 1-1. Comes the 1-1 pitch. McCusker swings and drives one down the left field line. Rosario going back, and it's off the wall. Rosario picks it up at the track, and McCusker did not get a good jump. He will stay at first. Surprising he couldn't work a double out of that, but he does have a 2-out base hit on a line drive down the left field line here in the top of the 5th.
Almost similar to the hit from Dakota Phillips in the first inning that just reaches the wall so quickly and takes a really fortunate hop to one of the corner outfielders, and it doesn't really give you a chance to break for second base almost.
So now it's Bierman, lefty batter, takes inside, 1-0. Third hit of the day for the ValleyCats. They have 2 runs with 1 in the first and 1 in the third. Watland winds and throws, and it bounces low off the glove of Green and rolls back to the backstop. Racing down to second is McCusker. He's in scoring position with 2 away, and Watland is behind 2-0 to Bierman. Green is really still limping after hitting a foul ball off his foot.
Yeah, I don't think that helped either. He slid into the backstop area to try to turn and see the runner, and I think he slid pretty awkwardly on that same foot.
Time is called by Bierman. Well, we were talking about this in last homestand. The Otters have a bunch of guys that feels like go 100% all of the time, and maybe at times even to a fault. 2-0 is ripped down the right field line. Baez racing over, watching it go over his head, and one hopping over the wall for a ground rule double. McCusker scores from second, a ground rule double by Zach Bierman, who's having quite the day and has returned to Bosse, an RBI base hit in the third, and now an RBI double in the 5th.
And we saw so much power from him last year at Bosse Field. We talked about earlier, 17 home runs in his 2022 campaign as an Otter, and that wild pitch comes back to hurt the Otters because McCusker would have not scored from first base given that that ball was a ground rule double.
Aaron Olther takes high, 1-0. And Bierman has to be comfortable here with sight lines and just being at the ballpark. Has to feel familiar and good to him. Not a surprise, he's 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs already today. And he's got 2 more games here. 1-0 is low, 2-0 to Olther. James Crick is starting to throw, the righty in the Otters bullpen. Kick and a throw. Olther swings and drives one high in the air to left. Back is Rosario at the track, makes the catch. Olther just got under it. So another run comes across for Tri-City. You go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're tied at 3 on the Otters Digital Network.
Say happy birthday to Alex Hardesty, celebrating birthday 46. Happy 46th birthday to Alex. Thanks for spending it with us here at Bosse Field. Leading off for the Evansville Otters, second baseman, number 1, Ethan Skinner.
3-3 ball game on a Tuesday night between Tri-City and Evansville. Move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Ethan Skinner leads the proceedings on here in the bottom of the 5th and watches a first pitch strike, 0-1. Skinner is 0 for 1 today. He was hit back in the 3rd. Pitch from Vasquez. Skinner swings and drives one into right. Racing over towards the line is McCusker, diving and can't make the catch. It bounces right along the dirt in the Otters bullpen, which was awkward as Crick was throwing down there and suddenly had to stop while McCusker came sliding in between him and the bullpen catcher to try to make the catch. It was an unusual play there.
Seemingly dangerous if Crick doesn't have someone looking out for him and telling them there's a play coming straight into his line of pitching.
There's always a guy that has to do that as the responsibility, which is Kevin Davis. So imagine Crick suddenly had to stop throwing, but obviously quick warning. Skinner swings and now drives one to left, right at Adams, who just reaches up the glove, one away.
First baseman, number 7, Dakota Phillips.
Brings up Dakota Phillips. First baseman is 1 for 2 today with a hit in the 1st. The Otters continue to swing early and often. This is pitch number 60 to Vasquez, and it's low to Phillips, 1-0. Vasquez winds and throws. Oh, again to Phillips, 2-0. Certainly an opportunity for Vasquez to go deep again. 3 of his 4 appearances, he's gone 7 innings. 2-0, Phillips swings and drives one to left, or right, right at McCusker, makes the catch. 2 away.
He's had a decent handful of at-bats also where the Otters have just hit it very hard directly at one of the outfielders. And yeah, it just worked so efficient today. It's showing no signs of slowing down as far as fatigue, and certainly no movement in the Tri-City bullpen as well.
No need with Vasquez at just 62 pitches as Jeffrey Baez trying to build up that pitch count, maybe taking all the way. First pitch ball to Baez. 3-3 here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs and nobody on. 1-0 to Baez is swung on and driven high in the air to left. Back is Adams. It is gone. A solo blast for Jeffrey Baez, his 7th big one of the season.
Yeah, and his 3rd RBI of the day as well. It was interesting because you mentioned he was taking all the way on the first pitch of that at-bat. And sometimes if a pitcher is working so effectively, you just try to do that as the 2nd or 3rd hitter in an inning, throw off their rhythm a little bit. And what do you know, he catches a pitch right over the heart of the plate and gets the job done, puts it out of the park.
420 feet over the left field wall by Jeffrey Baez at a solo blast on Saturday and has one today on Tuesday as Quiggle takes outside 1-1. Baez now up to 7 on the season. Quite the power surge to start the year after in 81 games last year at 8. Quiggle swings, drives one to right. Back is McCusker. It's gone. Back-to-back blasts by the Otters. For the 3rd time this season at Bosse Field, the Otters with back-to-back jacks.
And there's just something about the Otters bats that is more contagious than any other team I've ever seen. Like Griffin just said, 3rd time this year we've had back-to-back home runs, and it just seems like when one guy gets hot, the guys right behind them always follow suit.
Omar Reyes takes the first pitch up. It's 5-3 Otters on back-to-back solo home runs by Baez and Quiggle. Reyes fouls one off his foot. These two guys did the exact same thing all the way back on May 19th here against Trois-Rivières. Baez and Quiggle went back-to-back with Baez hitting a solo home run and Quiggle following right after. They've done the same thing here in the bottom of the fifth inning against Baez, or against Vasquez. Reyes swings and misses 1-2. It's Quiggle's third home run of the season. And Quiggle's first since May 20th as Reyes swings and misses for strike number 3 and out number 3. Not before back-to-back blasts with 2 outs for the Otters. Jeffrey Baez, a solo home run to left. And then Kona Quiggle says, I'll get in on the party with a blast over the right field wall, and the Otters lead 5-3 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
All right, time for the Griffin likes to build a sub. It's Bryce over here, Christian over there. We're going to spin the bat, build a sub, and win a prize. It's just that easy. Guys, if you're ready, get set, and spin. They're doing 10 times round with the dizzy bat, and they're going to build that Jersey Mike sub with the 2 buttons and the toppings, and they're going to hand off to one of our automails, and they're going to prize. And at this rate, at first base, we're going to be here for 3.5 nights. That third base might have this one late. It might get close. Let's see. Here we go. Christian over there in the third base side has already got his put together. Head up, and he wins. Christian with the win. And the only way to top the sub is with real red wine vinegar. They make it from red grapes and no good going. The only way to get it, they actually does authentic ingredients. Make a sub of 939 North Burkhart Road in Evansville.
Evansville called the bullpen. James Crick in to pitch to Henry. Crick is on the mound. Green behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Care East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Care East. 2319 Lincoln Road. 5122 475 9000. That is it from the Otters St. Louis. Don't forget to check out the Otters Did Team Story. Say hello to my good friend Bosse.
Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Old National Bank. Your bank for Evansville, your bank for life. The Otters have life here at Bosse Field as they've taken a 5-3 lead off back-to-back home runs by Jeffrey Baez and Kona Quiggle. And now the Otters will turn it over to the bullpen to try to win this game. They need 12 more outs. James Crick is first in charge here for the Otters, and Crick has been terrific this year. 11 innings pitched, a .82 ERA in 8 appearances. He's allowed just 1 run all season. That was on a home run at Quebec. 10 strikeouts to 4 walks, part of a bullpen that almost top to bottom has been superb. Sorry, Lucas, I muted you again, but Crick's been superb. Everyone in the bullpen has been excellent.
Certainly, and the Hillsdale native, apart from that one at-bat you mentioned in Quebec, has been almost flawless.
Winds and throws outside to Adams. The Otters bullpen, 6 of their 7 arms own an ERA under 3.0. Pretty impressive stuff. 1-0 coming to the lefty. Here she is, outside, 2-0. Otters have allowed just 15 earned runs in 21 innings of work from the bullpen, and that included the remarkable 32 inning scoreless streak by the Otters. 2-0 to Adams, swing and a miss, 2-1. And there's been hiccups. They've been minimal, few in between, and they've typically not been big blow-ups either. They've been a run or two. 2-1, high and away, 3-1. Part of that, you look at it, the Otters have lost just 2 games all season when trailing in the 5th inning or later, which includes today now in that scenario. It's the 3-1s on the inside corner, 3-2.
That's right. A lot of the relievers have come in really fortunate situations. And another thing you notice is just not a lot of walks by any of these guys in the bullpen, and they've worked pretty efficiently when they've come in.
Payoff coming from Crick. He winds and throws, and Adams spoils it foul.
Brought to you by Ed's Construction. Choose the best, never regret it.
Crick wants a new baseball, tosses one in, and Jake Green's looking at this one, inspecting it. He says, is it good enough for my pitcher? And deciphers it is. Jake Green's a very caring catcher. Another payoff to Adams. Kick and a throw, and Adams fouls it away again. Just 5 hits allowed by Crick in the 11 innings he's pitched. Brown hair tumbling out of his blue cap. The high blue stockings, he winds and throws inside for ball 4, and there's the announcer's jinx. Congratulations, Lucas. Leadoff walk for Adams.
I think it's my 2nd of the season, maybe 3rd.
Once you reach 5, you get a stamp as a true broadcaster. So you're closing out.
Big milestone.
Big milestone.
I'll start making just so many predictions and claims and see what I can make go wrong.
Juan Montes, the DH, comes to the plate with 1 on and nobody out. Crick's first pitch to Montes is bouncing in the dirt 1-0. And once you get someone complaining to you on Twitter about your announcer's jinxes, then you've truly made it as a broadcaster. There's nothing left to accomplish once you've done that. You've proved yourself. 1-0 to Montes is inside 2-0.
This is a smoke-free facility. The policy does include electronic cigarettes. If you'd like to vape, please take it outside. Thank you.
Hazy, overcast skies on this Tuesday evening, but warm. Crick stands off, throws over to first. Adams back. We're expecting some thunderstorms and some rain tomorrow morning. Finally, it's been exceptionally dry here in the River City over the last few weeks. Not that I'm missing pulling the tarp out on the field. Comes the 2-0. Strike to Montes, 2-1. And we'll hope that the rain clears up in time for tomorrow's early afternoon start. We've got a 12:05 first pitch tomorrow in this middle game on a Wednesday. That was the 2-1 pitch. It's inside for a strike. Pickoff throw to first. Green got him. Montes lurking off the first base bag. Green throws down. And Montes late as Phillips tags him out for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, got a really big secondary there, and Jake Green saw it, threw the throw just a little bit high, but a very good tag by Dakota Phillips as well.
Crick winds and throws. Breaking ball high. And a full count. Comes another payoff. Foul tipped into the glove of Green. There's the second out and the first strikeout for Crick.
Strikeouts. Third baseman, 13, Evansville.
2 outs and nobody on, and Paven Parks to the plate. Five-feet lead here for Evansville at the top of the 6th. Crick winds and throws outside to Parks, 1-0. The biggest thing I'll say about Crick, he's had a lot of success, and he is a borderline carnivore as an eater. He loves to eat meat. So much that there was a whole thing of sausage here at Bosse Field, the 1-0's outside. Like a good foot-long, thick sausage, and he brought the whole thing back to his place and froze it for safekeeping to start making a big meat meal at some point. Comes the 2-0 to Parks. It's outside 3-0.
If he keeps his performances up that we've seen throughout the summer so far, I'm sure Max Peterson will do what he can to continue to get many supplies of meat to James Crick's household.
3-0 to Parks is on the outside corner, 3-1. He said, "Yeah, it was there," and I asked Danny McCauley this big thing of meat, and he said, "No, it's I don't know whose it is. It's yours. You can take it. Bring it home." Said, "I've hit the jackpot. 3-1 is high, and Parks works a walk."
Back to the top of the order, second baseman 1, Jackson Hallmark.
2 away. Crick has walked 2 in the inning. Back to the top of the order, and Jackson Hallmark with 2 outs. Michigan native comes home, and outside to Hallmark 1-0. Crick peeks over his shoulder at first. Couple stride lead for Parks. And the Carnivore winds and throws outside 2-0. Now, meat it's very, very nutritious, and freezing it is the smart way to go because it spoils so quickly.
That's right. A lesson I learned the hard way in college. I would buy some ground beef and hold it onto it a little longer than I should have in the refrigerator before making anything with it.
That could be quite the mistake for your stomach. The 2-0 outside 3-0. I think college is everyone learns. You learn a lot of things in college. Maybe the biggest thing is learning away from home. You realize that food spoils. I think I learned the same thing.
Just always seems to be there when you're at home as a kid. You don't really think about that.
No. The 3-0's on the inside corner, 3-1. In college, you're doing all these things, and you come back from a weekend and on a Monday, and suddenly everything in your fridge has mold in it. And you go, how does this happen? It's never happened at home. 3-1 to Hallmark is low for ball 4. This is unusual of Crick. He's walked 3 here in the inning after walking just 4 his first 8 appearances in 11 innings of the season. And Max Peterson is a little concerned himself, and he's out to have a word with Crick in the Otters infield. Evansville does have Hunter. No, who is it in the pen?
Yeah, you got it.
I got it right. Hunter Clucky is warming in the Otters bullpen. So 3 walks in the inning. Adams was picked off by Green, who threw back to first when he was lurking off the bag for the first out. A strikeout, and now back-to-back walks to Parks and a Hallmark have put 2 on with 2 outs. Cito Culver coming to the plate. He's walked twice today. The Otters, with the 5 walks by Watland and now 3 in the inning here, have walked 8 ValleyCats batters. Hasn't really cost them yet, though. Crick fires home to Culver, who chops it right side and rolls foul. Comes the 0-1 to Culver. He swings and sends one high in the air to right. Baez back at the track, is under it and makes the catch. Oh, the Otters dodge a bullet there. Baez makes the catch at the warning track, and Culver oh so close to a 3-run blast to take the lead. The big throw by Green got a big out of the inning, and the Otters hold the ValleyCats scoreless to the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 lead for Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The dance cam brought to you by Drake's. We need everybody to get up and dance. Drake's is our go-to for 24 beers on tap, big burgers, and the freshest sushi of all of Evansville. Visit Drake's at 1222 Herschel Road or Drake's Come Play Tri-City, 15, Aaron Ernst in the pitch. The battery, Ernst is on the mound. More far behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Road, 812-475-9000. Leading off, left fielder, number 12, Brian Rosario.
Brian Rosario starts things off for the Otters in the bottom of the 6th inning with a 5-3 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. Evansville looking to take the opener this interdivision series tonight. First pitch sails high to Rosario. 1-0. We have a new pitcher into the ball game for the ValleyCats. Aaron Ernst winds and throws. Strike at the knees to Rosario. I'm surprised here. I'm quite surprised that Vasquez didn't go longer. His pitch count was low. He had pitched through the 6th in every appearance this season. The 1-1 swing and a miss by Rosario. But I guess for the ValleyCats, after seeing him give up the back-to-back home runs, they decided that was enough.
Yeah, he was working so efficiently apart from just a couple at-bats.
1-2 to Rosario outside, 2-2.
Seemed to have such a good rhythm, a guy who has a lot of endurance on the mound, as we've noted throughout the broadcast as well.
Ernst making his 7th appearance of the season as Rosario fouls one back to stay alive. 7th appearance of the season for the righty. In 8 innings pitched, he struggled, a 9.0 ERA. He's allowed 8 runs, and he's walked 5 batters in those 8 innings. The 2-2, Rosario fouls it away again. Righty from the great city of Carmel, Indiana. He's back home. Wright State grad as well in the Midwest in Dayton. The 2-2 is outside. Ernst stumbles off the mound, nearly fell. A full count. Payoff to Rosario is fouled away. Ernst is a former Carmel Greyhound. Carmel, Indiana, just north of Indianapolis. Comes the payoff to Rosario. Just gets a piece of it to foul it off. It was ball 4, and he knows it. He'll still stay alive. Greyhounds are probably the best all-around high school sports program in the state. Rosario swings, drives one into left. Adams drifting back is under it, 1 away. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Jake Green with 1 out and nobody on. Otters leading 5-3. Is that fair to say? I'm not. You're a native Hoosier. I'm not. Is it? You might not want to admit that. Is Culver the best all-around, or Carmel the best all-around high school athletic program in the state? Green takes a strike.
There's a lot of consistency there. I'm not sure a lot of the state necessarily likes Carmel, but
well, when you win a lot, you don't make a lot of friends elsewhere, right? As Green takes outside 1-1. It's lonely at the top.
I will give it to, they're very consistently, even if they aren't winning state titles, they are always consistently in the mix in most sports. It's a good point by you.
Green swings, and it was caught. It was caught at first. My goodness. It was hit so fast and right at Bierman, I couldn't even see it. What a catch by Zach Bierman over at first, who's having a day. So Green, a hot shot right into the glove of Bierman, who has 2 RBIs on a base and a double, and now a great catch. The most insane thing that Carmel has in their athletic department is George Khalil takes outside with 2 outs and nobody on. Their girls swimming has won 37 straight state championships. It's incredible.
Quite the dynasty there, huh?
1-0, swing and a miss, 1-1. It's the national record for the longest consecutive state title streak for any swim program high school in the country. 1-1. Khalil fouls it away, 1-2. People from Carmel like to say that it is the largest high school in the country. Now, that's not confirmed. I'm not sure it's true, but the graduating classes are around 1,500. That's per graduating class. So in total, you have around 6,000 kids or so at the school. Khalil swings and misses at the 1-2 up in the zone. And a good sixth inning by the Carmel Greyhound graduate. Ernst sends them down in order. We're through 6. 5-3 lead for Evansville on the Honors Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Your own home with self-service options at Heritage. Heritage, a proud partner of Evansville Otters baseball. We have a Evansville call the bullpen. 35, Hunter Clucky. Into pitch. The battery, Clucky is on the mound. Read behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery into the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 North Denver Road. 812-475-9000.
Six complete from Evansville and a 5-3 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. Evansville bringing in another arm here for the 7th. It's Hunter Clucky for Evansville. Clucky's been excellent this season. 9 innings pitched, 7 appearances, a 2.0 ERA. Jacob Goldfarb, lefty batter, takes a first pitch strike from the lefty Clucky, one of the 2 southpaws in the Otters pen. 0-1, slider outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Michael and Katie, your favorite child, would like to
Clucky has allowed just 2 earned runs on the season, 13 strikeouts, 4 walks, 9 innings pitched.
happy birthday to Kylie Sauce, turning 11. Happy birthday, Kylie.
And a local guy who it's really great for the surrounding community to see him succeed here, a team that he grew up watching, he said.
1-1 is found right side by Goldfarb, 1-2. No, they were asking about him on the ESPN radio this morning with our great director of communications, Matthew Will, being interviewed. And they were excited to hear that the local prospect is doing well here in the professionals. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Slider got Goldfarb all tied up. One away.
A lot of horizontal movement on that pitch. Just really ran off the plate away from a left-handed hitter, and there's not a lot you can do as a batter there. That ball looks like it's going to stay in the zone and just runs into the other batter's box.
10 inches of horizontal break, says 26 inches of vertical break. Carson McCusker takes it the knee, 0-1. Now, Yakertek's not always right. That doesn't seem right. But to the eyes, it had a ton of horizontal break. Another slider, swing and a miss, 0-2.
It's his go-to pitch thus far here in the 7th. We'll see what he does here with 0-2. Maybe try to blow a fastball up out of the zone, but you've got a really tall batter in McCusker.
Reigning Frontier League Player of the Week is 1 for 3 today. The 0-2 outside, 1-2. All eyes on McCusker, that's for certain, coming to Bosse Field with all the top stats in the Frontier League. The 1-2 is swung on and driven into center field. Racing over to the left is Quiggle, and he makes the catch, 2 away. And the sound off the bat, though, of McCusker is just, that ball sounded like it was destroyed.
Yeah, very loud out, and apart from his strikeout in the 3rd, that's what we've seen from him today. Just hard hit balls. Really dominant presence there in the batter's box.
2 up, 2 down for Clucky. Brings up Zach Bierman, the first baseman. Bierman, lefty, takes the first pitch strike on a slider. Lefty on lefty matchup here between Clucky and Bierman. Clucky working quick, black glove up near the face. High set, and the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Clucky, one of the greatest Henderson County baseball players ever to come through, and the Courier Journal ranked them a few years ago. 2-1 is on the outside corner for a strike. 2-2. Here's the 2-2. It's low and a full count. And it's always nice when the battery pitcher combo, the two guys are close. Jake Green and Hunter Clucky, close friends on the team. Chemistry so vital. Payoff. Swing and a miss by Bierman. What an ending for Clucky. Sends the ValleyCats down in order with 2 strikeouts. We'll stretch here at Bosse. 5-3 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats on the Otters Digital Network.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, and we'll root for the Otters. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Nicely done. Now let's get some more runs. Time for the order team. For the Evansville Otters are Edward Jones, leadoff batter at the gate. Designated hitter number 9, Noah Myers.
Bottom of the 7th here from Evansville as Noah Myers takes a first pitch inside for a ball to lead off the bottom of the 7th. 5-3 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. Ernst winds and throws, and Myers pops it up right side. Parks giving chase and watching it hit off the roof of the grandstands. Myers with the great walk-up song today. A little Waka Flocka. Waka Flocka came to Bloomington back in August, which was exciting. Comes the 1-1 pitch. Myers swings and misses 1-2. A lot of big names. We had Kenny Chesney come to Evansville a couple weekends ago.
That's
A lot of
right.
excitement. Performed at the Ford Center. Great artists making their way through southern Indiana. The 1-2's outside. 2-2 to Myers.
There's a free student concert at the beginning of every year at Bloomington, isn't there?
There is, yes. The block party. Charlie XCX
Okay.
came 2 years ago. Myers fouls one away, 2-2 out of play. Black Bear was supposed to come this year, and then he had some lung infection or a throat infection. He was unable to sing, so we actually didn't get one this past year. 2-2 to Myers. He chops it right side foul. Had Diplo come a few years before I was a student there. So call it Welcome Weekend to welcome the freshmen to
Is it open
IU
to every
Bloomington.
student, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
2-2 to Myers. Popped up, right side, out of play. Now, is it socially acceptable to go if you're not a freshman? That's up for debate. Another 2-2 to Myers. Stays alive.
And a red foul ball brought to you by
Good battle by Myers here. It's more of what we're used to seeing from an Otter, especially Myers in the leadoff hole. Fouls off a lot of pitches and goes deep into a count.
And his 22nd hit today, but he swings and misses at a breaking ball. And there's one away. Well, Waka Flocka can't spark you good luck every time. He strikes out for the second time today. It's 1 out and nobody on. It brings up Ethan Skinder. Second baseman, he is 0 for 2 today. He was hit back in the third. Had an 11-game hit streak going that was ended on Sunday at Joliet. First pitch to Skinder outside, 1-0. Bases are empty with an out. 5-3 lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats. Nightfall has descended here at Bosse, and the lights are on and in full effect. The 1-0 is low, 2-0. We've had so many sunny nights lately. It just feels like suddenly it's gotten dark so quickly because there was no sunset on this overcast evening. 2-0 to Skinder. He fouls it off his foot, his leg. 2-1.
That's right. I'm sure the pitcher, the middle infielders, and the outfielders enjoyed a night of not having to deal with that beaming sunlight off the roof of Bosse Field, however.
Certainly helps, and we'll be in store for some more clouds tomorrow as well in our 12:05 first pitch start time. It's going to be quite a quick turnaround. Looking forward to having a lot of kids out at the ballpark tomorrow afternoon. The 2-1 is a breaking ball high, 3-1. Ernst has retired the first 4 Otters he's faced. The 3-1 is low, and Skinder works a walk. There's the first Otter to reach against the Hoosier native.
That's a deer head. Sidewalk.
On in 1 out, and Dakota Phillips, the first baseman, next to the plate. 1 for 3 today with a hit in the first.
First baseman, number 7, Dakota Phillips.
Phillips had a 15-game on-base streak, but that also ended in Joliet as the Otters bats struggled for much of the weekend against the Slammers. Phillips takes inside, and down to second goes Skinder, and just catcher's indifference on Goldfarb. Just didn't seem really interested in throwing down to second.
See one about every 3 or 4 games called by Andy McCauley, another delayed steal where Skinder in this case doesn't take off for second as soon as the pitch goes, just gets a big secondary, and then as the catcher kind of relaxes, takes off down to second.
Time's called, reset the clock. Skinder in scoring position with 1 out, looking for some Otters insurance. The 0-1 plunks Phillips on the back. Fastball right to the back. The Otters extend their league-leading hit by pitches to 37 now on the season. And there's 2 on with 1 out and a chance to really give the Otters some room to breathe here in the 7th with a big inning.
It's a pretty incredible stat how many times they've been hit, and especially here at Bosse Field, we've seen it so much.
If anyone was watching the NCAA tournament over the weekend with college baseball, a little bit reminiscent of what Kentucky's done, getting just hit all day, it feels like, as Baez takes the first pitch high and in 1-0. Now, there was some debate that Kentucky was crowding the plate. I'm not sure. I don't feel like the Otters have done that as much as just they do just stand in and take it.
No, they really haven't. If anything, a few of the guys are pretty far off the plate. Most of them just really average depth in the batter's box.
Comes the 1-0 to Baez. Outside, and the ball rolls back to the backstop. And both runners advance. Goldfarb looked like he was crossed up the signs with Ernst. He did not expect the ball to be outside. Skinder to third, Phillips to first, a walk and a hit batter, and a 2-0 count to Baez, who hit a solo home run his last time up. Here's the 2-0. It's high 3-0. I think there was some frustration. Kentucky was playing Indiana in the Lexington Regional, and Kentucky openly admitted that they were trying to get hit. And I think that a little frustrating to baseball purists. 3-0, swing and a miss. 3-1, Baez swinging away to 3-0.
Yeah, certainly can be some strategy to it at times. Puts a lot of pressure on a pitcher. And makes the strike zone very close to the batter.
3-1, another swing and a miss and a full count. It worked well for Kentucky. They were hit 10 times in a game on Sunday.
Wow.
And certainly I think it did help kind of overwhelm the pitching staff. The payoff swung on and popped up into right. McCusker couldn't find the ball. It soars over his head and rolls all the way to the wall. Both runs will score. Baez is headed to third. Another 2 RBI. Ball off the bat of Baez. McCusker lost the ball in the lights and the haze. It sailed right over his head, and it's 7-3 Evansville.
Yeah, not sure McCusker ever saw that ball. I mean, right off the bat, he put his hands up just in sheer confusion, and not sure if during that long duration of the ball being in the air, he could have shielded the lights or had a shout from his center fielder maybe that the ball was going back, but he certainly never tracked that baseball.
Quick word from pitching coach Brooks Carey to Ernst. And all of a sudden, the Otters with a 4-run lead. It will go down as a triple for Baez. And how about this for Jeffrey Baez?
That's right, 5 RBIs on the day.
5 RBIs and 2 triples in the game. He has 2 triples and a home run. Quiggle takes little 1-0. That is almost unheard of stat line.
Might even be more impressive than hitting for the cycle.
Yeah. If he just stopped hitting the ball so hard, he would have reached the cycle at this point. As Quiggle takes outside 2-0. He should have just stopped at second there, and it would have been a base hit away from the cycle. Obviously, that's not the concern right now, trying to hit for the cycle. Quiggle takes inside 3-0.
And his ball he hit in the first inning to right field was also a very hard ball that he flew out on. But it's interesting because 3 of those 4 balls that he's hit have been hit into right field. He really has become accustomed to taking the ball the other way.
3-0's outside to Quiggle and a 4-pitch walk. Tacona Quiggle, runners on the corners. 4 in a row have reached now for the Otters. Hip, Skinder walked, Phillips was hit, and then Baez popping one up to right that McCusker lost in the lights and sailed right over his head. 1 out and runners on the corners for Reyes. No one is throwing, though, right now in the ValleyCats bullpen. This might just, with a 4-run lead, be Ernst's game to finish. First pitch to Reyes is a strike, 0-1.
And I think it was a really frustrating situation there with Ernst where he felt like he earned the second out of this inning, and you saw after the play just kind of looked out to right field at McCusker like what happened there.
A 1 look out inside. Reyes leans out of the way, 1-1. Kick and a throw. A strike to Reyes, 1-2. Baez has 3 triples now on the season, 2 today. A solo home run in the 5th for his 7th homer of the season. He has bulked up and provided some serious power this year for the Otters. The 1-2 is fouled away. The Otters bats after really struggling towards the end of last week. Just 9 hits combined in the last 2 games, 8 hits today and 7 runs. They've come alive as they've returned home. Reyes fouls it straight back. I've got to check out the home and road splits, but it especially offensively, it feels like for the Otters, it's a big, big difference.
Yeah, a lot of the guys just look so much more comfortable at the plate here at Bosse Field.
1-2 is high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evansville is 9-3 at home and has only lost 1 series at home all year, which was all the way back on opening weekend. They had a 6-game home win streak at one point that ended last week when they lost in the sudden death tiebreaker to Windy City. But that's the only time they've lost at home since opening weekend, that sudden death tiebreaker, as Reyes takes outside for a full count. Here comes the payoff. It's high and inside for ball 4. Reyes works the walk. The bases are loaded for 1 out with Rosario.
And with 3 walks and a hit by pitch in this inning, you got to really wonder why there's not anyone up in the bullpen for Tri-City, as you see their pitching coach come out here, but still just 1 out in this inning.
It feels like at this point you got to get someone up to make a change. I don't know, we got a lot of pointing and waving going on right now. Brooks Carey is walking out and making some waving, and we're getting a new catcher coming in. I don't know what we're doing.
I think
here.
we might have a position pitcher coming in to pitch. It looks
Really?
like he's going upon, it would be third baseman Paven Parks is taking off his
goodness.
arm sleeve and any tape he has on
Wow.
to seemingly make himself eligible to pitch. And this is a really interesting situation. Only down 4 runs.
Ladies and gentlemen, one of our favorite ODN staff members celebrated
It doesn't feel like, as you said, it's only a 4-run game. You get a double play, and this is still a close game. And they're bringing in Parks from third baseman to come in and pitch. And I'd imagine we'll look it up.
Parks does have some pitching experience.
Oh, he's actually pitched 4 times this season. Okay.
That's on us then. It is interesting, though, because you don't get the traditional warm-up,
no.
and it's in the exact same game that you've played in the field.
Which I don't know. We don't have a Tri-City broadcaster here to help us out with the in-depth research, as this is something that Tri-City's done before. But yeah, this just has to be quite a transition. I mean, they've just handed him a new glove as well, and now Tri-City needs to get a new third baseman, and the lineup's going to get all shuffled around. So this is definitely interesting in a close game, but Parks has actually been good in 4 appearances. He hasn't allowed a run. 4 2/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 2 hits and 2 runs, and actually he's done better pitching-wise than he has hitting-wise, where he's only hitting 154.
And he only takes 4 or 5 warm-up pitches. I mean, you got to think your arm's already loose from playing in the game, but it's a completely different type of warming up when you're going out there to throw on the mound. But he seems very comfortable in this situation from what we're seeing.
Well, he was a two-way player with Butler, as he was playing in summer ball in a few places. Went to Kent State, was a two-way player. Pitched a little bit in the minors for the Tigers and also hit for the Tigers. Brian Rosario takes inside 1-0. How about a two-way player in the minors? So really interesting here by Tri-City in the 7th. The base is loaded, 1 out. Rosario the batter. The 1-0 from the ready Parks has swung on and popped up into shallow left. Flare shot. Adams coming in, and it falls. Heading home is Baez. He'll score. Blue base hit for Rosario. Adams couldn't come in time. Culver going out. And Rosario with a blue base hit to extend the lead to 5.
Really an unlucky way to start things off there. Just a flare base hit to give up if you're Parks. One thing he does very much so look like a position player when he pitches is that he doesn't completely follow through, and he's fairly upright when he finishes his pitch.
Well, he didn't pitch last year for Tri-City. He only hit last year for Tri-City, but this year they've used him as an arm. Jake Green takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Parks kicks and throws. Green lunges that one right side. Racing over to the right is McCusker, and it bounces just foul. And there were some fireworks going off past right field, too. It's chaos there.
There's a lot going on down there because there's also the second potential play in the Otters bullpen while someone is warming up. What a chaotic game we've had tonight in a lot of different ways.
It's just been bizarre tonight. Justin Watland working like his hair is on fire. The Otters swinging at every pitch from Vasquez. We had 2 errors on stolen bases where balls rolled into center. We've had back-to-back home runs. Comes the 1-1 to Green. It's low, 2-1. We've had now a player that was at third come in to pitch, yet at times he's been a two-way player. Balls hit into the bullpen, dropped balls, lost in the lights. Takes outside 2-2. And in all regards, we're only at 2 hours in this game. It's blown by. And yet
All
it's
in
been
front
full
of
with things.
a very good crowd of 2,600 here at Bosse Field as well, especially for a Tuesday night.
Terrific crowd on Tuesday. Love to see it. The 2-2 outside and a full count to Green. Well, summer's fully hit, school's totally out, and there's a lot of kids in attendance today. We mentioned the softball teams were honored before the game. It's awesome to see the youth out the ballpark. Payoff coming to Green, and there's nowhere to put him. Here it comes, swung on and fouled away. Parks coming over from third base to the mound, just trying to hold on for dear life here to Tri-City to keep it a tight ball game. 5-run lead for Evansville with the bases loaded and 1 out. Another payoff to Green, swung on and popped up high in the air to shallow center. Coming in is Arthur. He makes the catch, and Quiggle will stay put over at third. So not deep enough off the bat at Green to move anyone. Big second out for Tri-City. And you get one more here. It's still only 5. It's a surmountable comeback. That is the first out after 6 straight batters had reached for the Otters. So it's Khalil now as the 9th batter of the inning here for Evansville. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, 8-3 lead for the Otters. Parks fires home and Khalil swings and misses. The Australian 0 for 2 today with a walk, making his return. He had last played in the Otters road series at Quebec, 5 games out with a back injury. The 0-1, Khalil pops it up right side out of play, 0-2. Nothing serious. He had continued to take batting practice, but just something to get a little bit of rest. Now back in that full-time shortstop role where defensively he's been a mainstay for Evansville the last 2 years. Parks winds and throws, and Khalil lunges at it to stay alive.
Yeah, and live at-bats are just really hard to replicate after a little more than a week off. You wondered how he was going to perform tonight. Obviously, you don't always settle right back into that as soon as you come back from an injury, no matter how quickly it is that you return.
0-2 is popped up into center. Back is Arthur. He's under it and makes the grab. So the Otters add 3 more runs in the 7th inning. They lead 8-3 as we go to the 8th on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The Evansville Otters, John Beamer at the pitch, the battery from
To the 8th here on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Baseball. Griffin, Lucas, and our great director, Austin, here on a Tuesday night from the River City. A 5-run lead for the Otters over the ValleyCats.
22.
Evansville plating 5 unanswered to take a lead, 2 in the 5th and 3 in the 7th. John Beamer is the new arm on for the Otters. Back-to-back Kentucky guys appearing for Evansville. Beamer has the top ERA right now in the Otters bullpen at below 1, a .71 ERA as he fires the first pitch high to Aaron Olther to lead off the top of the 8th. 1-0 is low, 2-0. Beamer has not allowed a run over his last 7 appearances. You have to go all the way back to opening day. His only run he's allowed on the season. The 2-0 is popped up into right. Racing over is Baez and making a jogging catch. 1 away. Baez is doing it all today with the bat, 2 triples and a home run, and an excellent play now in the field. 1 away.
And the batting order worked out very well, where Clucky, who worked so efficiently last inning, was able to face 2 out of 3 left-handed batters before exiting the game. And we know Max Peterson, a guy who loves to really crunch the numbers on those matchups and have a lot of lefty-on-lefty matchups.
Olther launches a first pitch strike inside. Beamer has thrown now 11 straight innings without allowing a run. Really impressive. The 0-1 is popped up into left. Back is Rosario at the track, makes the catch. It started tailing off towards the left, and Rosario had to scamper towards the foul line, but he makes the catch, and too quickly down here for Beamer in the 8th.
27, Austin Elder.
Juan Montez is going to be pinch hit for here at the DH spot as Austin Elder, catcher who hitless yet this season, 0 for 13 with the ValleyCats, will take his place. Lefty watches a first pitch strike from Beamer. It's been a wild game tonight at Bosse. The 0-1 inside 1-1, as we kind of detailed last inning. Just seeing a little bit of it all tonight. The Otters have scored in 4 different innings to put 8 on the board. The 1-1 swung on and chopped up the middle, past the glove of Beamer, but over to the left is Skinner, gloves it, throws to first in time for the out. Excellent play by the second baseman, Ethan Skinner, ranging over to his left to field and throw, and Beamer works a quick 1-2-3 8th inning. 8-3 Otters go to the bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back in a moment on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Bosse Field legends getting ready to run a race. Some less surprises for some folks in the stands. Yeah, legends, hello, get ready, get set, and go. We got Griffin from Bosse. We got Epstein, right? We got Harrison. They are making their way around home plate. Headed toward the finish line. Who's got it tonight? And it is, I think, for the 3rd time in a row, F.J. Wrights with the win. We'll give out some tickets to the upcoming game to one of our rows here. Thank you for playing the AZIP Legends.
Take off work tomorrow and join us for a Senior Connection Wednesday day game. 12:05, our first pitch time. Tickets. EvansvilleOtters.com. That does not apply to our ODA crew, Austin, Christian, Kevin, Hernandez. You gotta work. I gotta work too. The Senior Connection Wednesday day game tomorrow at 12:05. Top of the order to you for the Evansville Otters are Edward Jones, leadoff batter of the game. Designated hitter, number 9, Noah Myers.
Bottom 8 from Bosse. 5-run lead for the Otters. They only need 3 more in the ninth to earn a series opening victory over the ValleyCats, who've made the long 12-hour drive from the Albany, New York region. The second time in their franchise history. Noah Myers leads things off in the bottom of the 8th. Lefty batter watches a first pitch outside, 1-0. We're going to have a train come by. This is the train is very late. This is the latest we've ever had a train here at Bosse. It's almost 9 o'clock. The 1-0 is swung on and missed, 1-1.
Yeah, they're essentially never when the lights are already on here at Bosse Field.
It seems a little impolite to the great residents of Jacobsville around Bosse Field for all the horn noises as the children are trying to sleep, as Myers takes outside 2-1. But some would argue the sound of a train horn in the Midwest is the sound of bliss. You go to sleep to the sound of the train horn as Myers takes a strike, 2-2. You can even get those little wooden things you can blow in that sound like a train horn. I don't know what those are called. 2-2 is low and a full count.
Guess they're just called train whistles. I don't know.
Train
the
whistles?
wooden ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a bunch of them with Purdue logos on them.
Oh, well, of course. The Boilers. Comes the payoff. Myers swings, pops it up to left. Adams racing over towards the line and makes a jogging catch, 1 away.
Second baseman.
Why don't Purdue fans do that? They just take the train whistle. They should do that at games. Just blow it repeatedly. It would be extremely annoying and effective.
Should get a job in the Purdue marketing department.
I should. Once they find I'm an IU grad, that might end my chances there. But we'll give it a shot as Ethan Skinder takes the first pitch strike. Bases empty, 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 5-run lead for the Otters, 8-3. Skinder 0 for 2 today, but he has 2 runs as he takes low 1-1. Was hit in the 3rd and scored, and walked in the 7th and scored. Busy day for the Otters. All 9 batters have reached. Skinder takes a strike, 1-2. Six of the 9 have hits for the Otters today. In total, 9 hits on the board for the 8 runs. Evansville's 3 outs away from their 10th win at home to go to 10-3 here at Bosse. The 1-2 inside, 2-2. It's going to be the really quick turnaround tomorrow, as we'll be back at the ballpark in around 10 hours after they leave. 2-2 to Skinder. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Skinder left looking, 2 away.
First baseman, number 7, Dakota Phillips.
Dakota Phillips to the plate, 2 outs and nobody on. And Paven Parks, who started at 3rd, finishing here as the pitcher, trying at the final out of the 8th. 9-1-2 coming up for Tri-City in the top of the 9th. Try to come from behind. Pitch to Phillips is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Gateway atop the Frontier League West standings in some trouble tonight. They trail Empire State 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th. A 1 to Phillips is low, 1-1. Empire State trying for some history. If they win tonight, they get win number 7, and it would surpass their 6 wins from last year and be the most wins in their 2 years short franchise history. Comes the 1-1. Phillips swings and misses 1-2. Gateway is having anything but baseball night at the ballpark, so maybe that means they're not allowed to. The team isn't allowed to play good baseball because it's anything but baseball night.
I'm gonna have to look up what that meant.
1-2 is a chopped foul. I don't understand. How can you have an anything but baseball night at a baseball game? I would get if it was a Monday off day and everyone came to the park to watch a movie and eat and, I don't know, play tag out on the field. But I'm not sure how you don't play baseball at a baseball game. The 1-2 is low and 2 balls and 2 strikes. Either way, Gateway's trailing. The Otters, who are 2.5 games back of Gateway, could make up a game there. And Schaumburg, who's a half a game up on the Otters, is also losing right now. The 2-2 is swung on and missed by Phillips for strike 3. So Parks works a 1-2-3 eighth. Last stands for Tri-City in the top of the 9th. Otters leading 8-3. The Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Indiana 811 presents the Holy Moly Shuffle. We're going to shuffle up Holy Moly, and I got to go some Scott softball. All right, see ya. He's in 3. Now he's in 1. Now he's in 2. Keep your eye on 2 as we shuffle him around. And see if you can help me find Holy Moly tonight. Is he 1, 2, or 3? Got a whole bunch of 1s. There he is. He's in 1. Thank you for playing the Holy Moly Shuffle. Is brought to you by Indiana 811, a free service that can prevent costly damages to underground utilities. Know what's below? Call 811 or visit 811now.com. Leaves 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or how small. Thank you.
Once again, we're back here tomorrow afternoon, 12:05. If you show up at 6:35, you probably won't be here, so 12:05.
Top of the 9th inning here from Bosse Field. The Otters leading 8-3 and looking to close out the series opening victory here over Tri-City. Evansville, 6-game homestand, and right back at home cooking here at Bosse, where they're 9-3 on the year. Otters trailed early for just the second time in the last 20 games, trailing to start the game as Tri-City scored in the first, but the Otters have scored 5 unanswered to take the lead as Paven Parks will lead things off after pitching in the last inning and foul the first pitch off. Feels like I'm in an Angels game. Shohei Ohtani is up at the plate. He's just pitched, and now he's hitting. Trying to lead a Tri-City rally here on the 9th. Park takes outside 1-1.
So we did look up what anything but baseball night over at Gateway entailed.
1-1 to Parks. Lefty takes inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And it looks like it was just a wide variety of activities outside and around the stadium for fans to participate in that pertained to anything other than baseball.
2-1 outside, 3-1.
And they also welcomed a handful of local teams, including the XFL Battlehawks from St. Louis, to the stadium.
3-1 is high for ball 4.
But perhaps at the rate they're going, losing to Empire State at the moment, as Griffin cited last inning, they should have focused a bit more on baseball.
I like the idea. I'm still a little confused at what it looks like. I'd love to see the execution, but I appreciate the idea.
What about the graphic they have?
It's got a bit.
It
It's
just
got
has a tennis racket.
A tennis racket with grizzly bears climbing on it. Well, if there's any tennis being played, I'm there. Jackson Hallmark takes a first pitch strike 0-1. Well, we'll see Gateway next week, and their play-by-play voice, Jason Garrett. So we'll have to check with Jason and get back full details on anything but baseball night. And Sajay is the 1-0 is a strike at the knees, 1-1. Otters are going to have some great promotions coming up. We have Superhero Night on Saturday. A 1-1 to Hallmark. Swing and a miss. A slider sailing outside from Beamer And that is strike number 3, actually.
That's a German American Banks Tri-Cats. The shortstop 6, Cedar Culver.
So there's the first out of the inning. 2 more needed for Beamer, trying to get 6 outs to complete this game for the Otters. Cito Culver, shortstop. First pitch to the lefty, strike on the outside corner. Beamer peeks over his shoulder at first, but not a big lead there for Parks. And the 0-1, breaking ball, slice back, 0-2. 8 runs on 9 hits and an error for Evansville. 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 errors for Tri-City. Tri-City with 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and 1 in the fifth. The Otters with 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and then the 5 unanswered, 2 in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth. It was 2 in the fourth, and then 3 in the sixth. Swung on and driven into right. It will one-hop in front of Baez. A base hit for Culver. And now things get a little bit more interesting for Tri-City with 2 on and 1 out. Parks led off with the walk. After Hallmark strikes out, Culver with his first hit of the game. That brings up Jacob Goldfarb, the catcher, who's 1 for 4 today. Lefty batter swings at the first pitch. Chopper to Khalil. He gloves it, throws to second to 1, and Skinner will eat it there. For the force out at second for the second out of the inning. The Otters just looking for outs, and they're 1 out away.
Right fielder 33, Carson McCusker.
Parks goes to third. Goldfarb at first, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Carson McCusker, the right fielder, the plates. The Otters need 1 more out and can finish this game up before everyone's bedtime as we're approaching 9 p.m. Beamer winds and throws. McCusker takes a slider outside, 1-0. One more out needed for Evansville. 1-0 from Beamer. McCusker fouls it away. 1-1. Frontier League leader in hits, runs, slugging percentage, on base percentage. Just 1 for 4 today, but he's hit balls hard multiple times. 2 hard outs to the outfield, and a base hit and a run in the 5th. 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And Evansville's a strike away.
It's been so fun to follow. We mentioned came from Oklahoma State, one of the Big 12 programs that really just breeds a lot of really, really talented baseball players.
The 1-2 to McCusker inside, 2-2. Beamer looking for 1 final strike. The 2-2. Broken bat flare into left, and it gets down for a hit. So Parks will jog home and score.
First baseman 45.
Broken bat flare hit for McCusker. I mean, hey, when you're hitting 479 on the year, you're just getting on base anyway how. And McCusker does to keep the game alive. Goldfarb goes to second. So now it's Bierman, who's had quite a day. 2 RBIs, a base hit and a double. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it straight back. It's a 4-run game with a run across here on the 9th. And if Bierman was to reach, the tying run would come to the plate. Just the 2nd run that Beamer has given up this season here in the 9th. 0-1. Breaking ball just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Beamer. And game 2 tomorrow, 12:05 first pitch. Little Wednesday afternoon baseball, the middle game of the series. 1-1, swing and a miss by Bierman, 1-2. Again, the Otters a strike away. Here's the 1-2 inside, and Bierman narrowly avoided getting hit, lunging down the back to avoid getting plunked. 2-2. Deuce is about 2-2 with 2 outs and 2 on. As one is swung on, grounded up the middle and through for a hit. Runners will hold and the bases are loaded. Bierman lost the bat as he swung and somehow just got enough of it to ground it up the middle and through. And Alther comes to the plate as the tying run.
Yeah, and you talked about earlier how just so comfortable Bierman looks in this ballpark, and rightfully so. He was so successful here last year, and that his 3rd hit of the day now.
Max Peterson out to take Beamer out of the ball game. So Beamer got to 2 strikes 2 different times with 2 outs, but just could not get that final out. And the Otters are going to the pen to make a change and try to get 1 final out here in the 9th inning. The tying run coming to the plate. Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, into the game. We're back in 30 seconds on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Otters call the bullpen. 27 Jake Polancic into pitch the batter. Polancic on the mound, green behind the plate. The answer auto care east.
This isn't right. He hasn't only pitched 3 games.
1-2-4-7-5-9,000. Tell them sing from the Otters, sing you.
Back at Bosse, Jake Polancic, the Otters closer, into the ballgame with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. The Otters leading 8-4, but the tying run coming to the plate. So Evansville bringing in Polancic for his 8th appearance of the season. He has 3 saves in 8 2/3 innings pitched. Has allowed just 2 runs on the year, all coming in just 1 appearance at Quebec. But with things getting a little testy and the tying run coming to the plate, Otters taking no chances and bringing in Polancic.
Yeah, and hoping he can just slam the door shut here. We know how much confidence Max Peterson has in him, and when he saw the bases get loaded and that tying run come to the plate, he really didn't hesitate to go to Polancic.
Alther is 0 for 3 today. Does have a walk back in the 2nd. Lanky German center fielder with 2 home runs on the year. Swings at the first pitch, drives it to left, right at Rosario, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. And the 27th out of the game. For number 27, he only needs 1 pitch to get that 27th out. He put his hands up in the air and shrugged at Jake Green with a smile, saying, "Can't have warmed up for all that. Just 1 pitch," but in the end, it was the most important out of the game for the Otters because it was the last one, and Evansville takes the opener tonight, 8-4.
Yeah, and the Otters stay hot at home. They moved to 10-3 at Bosse Field on the year. It'll put them at 14-8 overall, and a really good all-around performance until a little bit of a shaky last inning. The bullpen looked very good in Clucky and Beamer's first inning, and Crick as well, and certainly a welcoming sight for Andy McCulley to see his squad get 8 runs when they just put 9 runs on the board in that whole series at Joliet.
It was a slow weekend of bats, but they return home here to Bosse, and good things seem to continue to happen. Evansville 10-3 now at home on the season, and they take the series opener here tonight to improve to 13-8 on the year. Tri-City falls back to 500. They're 11-11, and they'll need to win the last 2 of this series if they want to keep their 3-game series win streak going. So In the scorebook tonight, the loss will go to Aaron Ernst. Vasquez made the start and pitched pretty well, was efficient and effective, but gave up back-to-back solo home runs to Kona Quiggle and Brian Rosario, but it was Ernst who came in relief who will take the loss. And on the other side, Wadlin will get the win for the Otters. He goes 5 innings, allowing 3 runs, but just 1 earned. He had 5 walks, but 6 strikeouts and 4 hits. With the bats, the Otters led by Jeffrey Baez. What a night. 3 for 4, 5 RBIs. He had 2 triples and a home run. Almost a unheard of final stat line for Jeffrey Baez. Kona Quiggle also had a 2-hit day as well. He was 2 for 3 with 2 runs and an RBI, including that solo home run that followed Baez for back-to-back jacks for Evansville. So final totals again, 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 error for Evansville, 4 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for Tri-City as the Otters win to improve to 13-8. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon, 12:05 first pitch. It's going to be a quick turnaround. First pitch is in 15 hours, so get some rest, get some sleep, and we hope you'll join us either here at Bosse or maybe at work during a lunch break here on the Otters Digital Network or Flow Sports. Again, 12:05 first pitch tomorrow, and then we're back at normal 6:35 first pitch on Thursday evening. One more time, the final score, Evansville 8, Tri-City 4 for our entire excellent Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports crew. Our director, Austin Hernandez, my color analyst, Lucas Daunhauer. I'm Griffin Epstein. The Otters win 8-4. Good night from Evansville.